So I'm Sarah Zarling. I'm here with Krissy. You want to share your name?
Yeah, it's Krissy Ferguson.
Krissy Ferguson. Hello, Krissy Ferguson. I've had the pleasure of meeting you. I'm really sorry we're here at your house. I'm sorry for what's happened to you. This is your home.
That one right, the third one.
The third, over there where the signs were up the other day? Yeah, I got that. All right, so Krissy lives right down, third house down here. She's going to tell us about some of the stuff she's been through and what she's got going on here.
Well, unfortunately, the home sits on top of Sulfur Run. This is a creek that I used to play in as a kid. I used to bring my daughter down, and we'd sit on the rocks and have picnic lunches. We'd go through the tunnels, and as a child, we used to play the neighborhood kids. We would play like Red Dawn, and we'd run through the tunnels and come out on the other side of town. And lots of wonderful memories that was taken away because of Norfolk Southern. And when they left our town in shambles due to profits over people. Since shortly after the derailment, my home became grossly contaminated with the chemicals that they released in the creek. For months, the booms and the aerators sat, and the aerators, later to find out, should have never been placed in a residential neighborhood because they were gassing the whole entire neighborhood.
Yeah.
My home smelled straight up of chemical. We had Michael Regan, Deborah Shore, Ann Vogel from Ohio EPA, along with Senator Sherrod Brown and Congressman Bill Johnson in the home. They all acknowledged the chemical smell. I was deemed a special circumstance by Andrew McGuire, Region 5 Superfund, and did not have to bring my family back home. We've been staying at a home that Norfolk Southern's paying the bills for, paying the rent and the utilities, because we had the utilities on at our house, so we couldn't pay two sets of them. Until December 30th of this year, when there was a knock at the door, and it was a Norfolk Southern employee, and they served us with a letter that they were ending our relocation effective February 28th, a couple weeks away. Our home's not been cleaned. The pipe that is open that leads into the floor drain in my basement is still open. I still get creek water in my basement. There was never any wiping of the home. And the cleaning service that Norfolk Southern offered the residents was a dry dusting. If you had food on the counter, she didn't even have to take the food and put it away. They sprayed like a Lysol for like a COVID type thing. They sprayed that.
Which is chemicals.
Yeah.
So they sprayed chemicals on top of chemicals.
Yes.
Right.
So I did not sign up for that cleaning. What the head of the US EPA had said would be a chemical wiping, a hazmat crew. That was never done. And they're still trying to force us back home because they don't want to any longer be responsible for paying rent.
Right. And then for the record, so Christina and I were just in the creeks and found active contamination in the creeks right now as we speak. And they're forcing you to move back to your home, or they'll stop paying for your relocation.
Yes.
Well, either way, they're going to stop paying for it.
Yes.
So you have to either move back to your contaminated home over a contaminated creek, or you have to
become homeless, or try to find a way to replace our home.
And there's been no talk at all about coming in to clean your home before you come into it? They're leaving you high and dry?
They offered that cleaning that was, very non-efficient.
Right.
It didn't handle any chemical contamination.
Yeah.
They had gave me a furniture allowance. Norfolk Southern did. Told me to throw away anything of fabric.
Right.
I have 2 homes in one. I have the complete upstairs that had living room, bathroom, kitchen, bedrooms. My mother had the complete downstairs, same way, plus a laundry room and a dining room. And yet, what they gave us for our furniture to replace everything in our clothes was $7,500. We had to start over in a brand new house. And you were afraid to go to consignment shops because so many people were throwing away their furniture and people were loading it up in trucks.
Yeah.
And you don't know where it's from and you didn't want to buy it secondhand. So we made do. We built our home back. Still don't have the appliances because the home that they rented furnished a washer and dryer and a stove and a refrigerator and a microwave. So now, if we do find another home, we have to be able to come up with money for new appliances.
Right.
And
they're not helping you with any of that reimbursement at all.
No. Right. And the reimbursement they helped everyone with came off their class action settlement.
Correct.
So
right. So the money that
disgusting.
they've paid to put you up in the place you've been in, you're going to get that money taken away from...
I opted out, so I will not.
Gotcha.
And I will fight that because Norfolk Southern paid 3 times more than what the landlord had the ad listed for.
Mm-hmm.
$75,000 for a 1-year lease, and I've been there 2 years.
Yeah.
They could have bought me a home.
Right.
They could have bought me a home, and that's all I asked them.
Right.
For months, a year. Just replace my home.
Right.
Then I find out I have vinyl chloride all through me. The health effects and the health issues that I have to this day. They've poisoned an entire community, and they don't care.
And you haven't gotten reimbursement for any of your health problems, any of your doctor visits?
No, with a pending lawsuit, I'm not sharing my medical records with them.
Right.
They won't give me the recommendation that their contractor, I had my home air tested, and the contractor deemed us a special circumstance, recommended tearing my home down, this one, and this one to the ground because they had air tested this one and mine.
Yeah.
The other refused to let them in.
Yeah.
But that's what I was up at the command center when she said that those homes needed to come down.
Yeah.
I was there trying to meet with the EPA, and then I was handed a clipboard and told if I was going into the meeting to stand. They thought I was a worker, so then I started going up to find out information about the creek in my home, and I put on a fluorescent vest from my work, and I would go in and listen to some of the developments. And 2.5 months later, a HEPACO worker on a midnight shift found why my home smelled so horrible of the contamination. There was a pocket of chemical right below my drain, my pipe that goes into the tunnel. So they just, I've asked for 2 years for that recommendation from that air tester, and to this day they've not provided it. They will not. Some will say we're working on it, then you ask them again, they're like, we don't know what you're talking about. Then you talk to someone new, oh yeah, I'll get that. So it's just conflicting stories and more gaslighting.
I really don't know what to say, Krissy. I'm sorry is not enough to say, that's for sure. But I really do appreciate you sharing your story because, people need to know what you're going through.
Yeah.
Do you want to go on the porch now?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, let's go on the porch
can
now.
Take you in the basement real quick if you'd like to see that floor drain. But
that would be
it's
wonderful.
Gonna be dark. You would need a flashlight.